This Legendary Hero Summoning event is appropriately releasing on Halloween because I have no orbs and that's pretty scary. For any new players, this banner is a special one because it features 12 focus heroes. The 5-star focus rate starts at 8% and the non-focus 5-star rate is always set to 0, which means if you do get a 5-star unit, it is guaranteed to be one of these 12 heroes. It's a great time to try and get any 5 stars, but if you're only going for one, then it can be a bit tricky. This event lasts for about a week, so you have a little bit of time to get more orbs. This month's legendary hero is Eirika, who appears in her Great Lord promotion just like her brother. Eirika still has a sword, but is now a cavalry unit. I'm making this video before we know her full stats, but since most units keep a similar stat line to their other forms, I predict Eirika will have somewhat average attack paired with a good or great speed stat. Her HP and defense and resistance will probably also be somewhat average, just like her original form. But I could be wrong because she comes with some very interesting stat boosts with her skills. Speaking of skills, I do want to cover old skills Eirika comes with first. Moonbow is a pretty common special, but Eirika has something new to pair with it. As for Odd Defense Wave, it will grant Eirika some extra defense on odd number turns, and it is her only ally buffing skill in this kit. Legendary Eirika's unique weapon is the Storm Siglin. It has 16 might, and surprising for Eirika, it also comes with a flat +3 attack. Perhaps Eirika will get an attack boost to her original low base attack. It could also just be +3 attack to match Ephraim's Flame Siglin, since that's not the only trait they share. So Storm Siglin's effect may seem complicated, but we've already encountered this type of ability before. So if the number of foes within 2 spaces from Eirika, excluding her target, is greater than or equal to the number of allies within 2 spaces, not including Eirika herself, then Eirika gets +3 defense and resistance. She also gets special cooldown charge +1 per her own attacks. The activation requirement is exactly the same as Flame Signet. Basically, when Eirika fights someone, you look at each space within 2 from Eirika, and if there are more enemies than allies, or if there are the same amount of enemies and allies, then Storm Siglin procs its effect. This means Legendary Eirika, similar to Legendary Ephraim, wants to fight alone. She wants to be surrounded by more enemies than allies. Now, I thought this condition made sense for Ephraim because literally the first time you see him in Sacred Stones, he is storming an entire castle by himself with 3 other dudes. For Eirika, this just seems kinda odd, but it could also be representing her growth throughout the game and not really needing to depend on her brother for protection. Anyway, the effects she gets for fighting alone are decent. +3 to defense and res is kind of nice and always somewhat useful. As for the special cooldown charge +1 effect, it's not crazy like Steady Breath, but it does mean Eirika won't need to run Flashing Blade or Heavy Blade for faster specials. As we will shortly talk about, Storm Siglin works well with Eirika's new A and B skills, so her kit is definitely full of synergy. Eirika introduces a new inheritable A skill, and this time it's Attack and Speed Solo. So I believe this is only the second variant of the solo skills, but my goodness, it is probably the one most people will want. For those unfamiliar, the solo skills grant a stat boost during combat just as long as the unit isn't adjacent to another unit. Attack and Speed Solo grants +6 to both stats, and for any player phase offensive units, this is a really good skill. This is definitely up there with Life and Death and Swift Sparrow. The reason why is that the skill is generally easy to activate since offensive units will usually end up moving away from the team to attack an enemy. Since Legendary Eirika is a cavalry unit, this is even easier to achieve since she can move 3 spaces to the enemy. With Attack and Speed Solo, it could mean this version of Eirika could be a more high offensive unit, or it could just be there to bring up her a lower attack and speed stat line. We'll just have to see. For Legendary Eirika's unique B skill, she comes with the Lunar Brace to match Ephraim's Solar Brace. First thing to note is that the Lunar Brace increases special cooldown count by +1. That is because it's almost like having a second special skill. When Eirika's special triggers, Lunar Brace will add damage equal to 50% of the enemy's defense stat. Okay, so this is a bit new. Lunar Brace does not function like Moonbow or Luna, although it's very similar. Those skills don't add damage to a unit's base damage technically. They actually lower the foe's defense or res stat when damage calculations occur, and while it does add damage to a unit's attack, for technical reasons, it's slightly different. For Lunar Brace, it's probably better to think of it like a reverse bonfire. Instead of taking 50% of your own defense, you take 50% of the enemy's defense and add that to Eirika's base damage after damage calculations. From the wording, it also deals true damage, and I've seen some discussions here and there about what exactly true damage means. That is definitely for another video. What we can discuss in this video is what special should you pair with Lunar Brace. Legendary Eirika comes with Moonbow by default, and Lunar Brace turns it into a 3-turn special. However, when Moonbow activates, Eirika will deal her usual Moonbow empowered damage, but then Lunar Brace also adds its own damage on top. It's actually pretty powerful, and it's probably why the extra special charge was added. Experimenting with all the different specials will be pretty interesting, like you can use Noontime or Soul for extra healing but still get a damage special from Lunar Brace. Aether would be on a 6-turn cooldown, but it would still do so much damage and then heal a ton if Eirika were to hit a full HP target. Since Lunar Brace is worded similarly to Wrath for the damage part, I assume it will stack with AoE specials too. I guess it would calculate damage based on each individual hit, and that would be pretty crazy, although Eirika will need to battle a lot to continuously activate her AoE specials. Let me know in the comments what special you think Legendary Eirika should pair with Lunar Brace, and if I can get her myself, then I'll definitely be doing a ton of testing. Moving on, let's talk about the 11 other heroes we have to choose from. In the red group, we have Legendary Eirika, of course, and joining her are Samurtana and Elysian Traveler's Olivia, who I will just refer to as Flying Olivia. In the blue group, we have Legendary Ephraim, Sumia, and Bridal Ninian. Green, we have Legendary Lyn, Bridal Sanaki, and the big and scary male Grima. For colorless, Legendary female Grima keeps the streak alive, and rejoining her are both Jenny and Innes. I should have seen Legendary Eirika a mile away because this month has been filled with Sacred Stones love. We had Halloween Myrrh, Ephraim and Myrrh's Bound Hero Battle, and plus we even had refines for Innes and Tana. Seeing Tana, Ephraim, and Innes all on the Legendary banner is a whole other thing. Alright, so starting with red, I want to make something clear. This is probably going to be one of the best times to try and get Legendary Eirika because she is joined by two great units. Samurtana is a flying red mage and Elysian Traveler's Olivia is a flying dancer. Both are incredibly useful class types if you don't have them. This time around, the red group is an absolute goldmine since these units also come with really good skills. We aren't going to talk about Eirika more, but her inheritable skills are top notch. Notably, attack and speed solo is going to be insanely sought after, and odd defense wave isn't bad itself. As for Samurtana, even though we just got a Versa who is a free flying red mage, Tana is still the better offensive unit. Tana's 33 attack and 36 speed beat out a Versa, and being able to get a boon in either of those puts her over the top. Basically, if you are going down the flying blade tome path, then Samurtana has the higher potential. As for Samurtana's weapon, Fruit of Idun, it grants a guidance type effect for all units, but it's not a super offensive weapon. Rally speed and res is great, but it is available elsewhere. As for attack and speed push, I think it's still the only push skill we have. While it's powerful, attack and speed solo is kinda just better, at least to me. It can be more useful for grouping up, but needing to heal every time after a fight just gets a bit annoying. Spare attack and defense is a good C skill and it's not a bad combination. For Flying Olivia, she is a flying dancer, which is enough said. They are amazing units to have. This Olivia is also great because her weapon, Scold, grants +3 to all stats to a unit Olivia dances. This is pretty darn great and makes Olivia just that much better. Her A skill, Bursting Stance, is good, granting +4 defense and res when attacked, but it's potentially overshadowed by the new Fortress defense and res skill. Still, it's not bad, and it's a great skill for defensive units. Chill Speed is a fantastic support skill and definitely worth inheriting. Also, Guidance is still somewhat hard to get for the C slot, so it's worth inheriting if you are planning a certain mixed team. So for red overall, it's incredibly tempting if you don't have any of these units. All of them will be pretty useful and they have amazing skills too. Moving on to blue, we start with Legendary Ephraim. Flame Sigmund lets Ephraim get a follow-up attack, and with his high base attack, he can do some crazy damage. In comparison to Eirika's Lunar Brace, the Solar Brace gets Ephraim some extra healing, so he can keep running around the battlefield. Legendary Ephraim is a great offensive unit, but in terms of skill inheritance, he really only has Sturdy Stance. It grants +4 attack and defense when defending, and I do think it's a good skill. Next we have Sumia, who is very interesting. She is insanely fast with 39 base speed, and that's fastest for all Lance Flyers. Sumia's skills are also pretty good. Her Reprisal Lance is inheritable, and it grants +6 attack when your unit is attacked first. Her A skill is Close Defense, and it's a very good defensive skill. Perfecting this trio is Attack and Defense Link, which is a great buffing skill that works on both the user and an ally when a movement assist skill gets used. Good thing Sumia comes with Reposition too. If you don't want to use Sumia, then she has 3 amazing skills to inherit. Last we have Bridal Ninian, who is another flying dancer. Seriously, I use my own Bridal Ninian a ton and it makes a huge difference on some maps. I highly advise getting a flying dancer if you don't already have one. Ninian also offers some good skills. Her Fresh Bouquet is actually inheritable, and it's a weapon that grants +4 speed to adjacent allies and Ninian herself. It's actually a great weapon for a dancer. She also comes with Chill Attack. Again, chill skills are great since it allows a supportive unit to debuff from anywhere on the map. Drive speed is also good, but it's not as hard to get as Chill Attack. Overall, blue is decent too, although I still think red takes it by a mile. For greens, we have Legendary Lyn back again. Now, Legendary Lyn might be considered one of the weaker legendary heroes, and it's because her base kit kind of doesn't really commit to one role. Her Laws of Suke unique skill is an enemy phase ability, and Lyn doesn't really have the greatest defensive stats to be a great tank. Furthermore, I think Laws of Suke can be easily replaced with Fury for a very similar effect. Swift Mulligear and Desperation are there to make offensive moves once Lyn has taken a hit, but her green bow status hasn't really changed much. That being said, Legendary Lyn does have Speed Tactic. +6 speed is a lot, so Speed Tactic is a very valuable buffing ability for mixed teams. Next is Bridal Sanaki, who is a flying green mage. This makes her pretty valuable, even though Flying Nino is a lot faster than her. Her Niffle Frost Flowers is a unique weapon, boosting her attack and speed based on the number of allies within 2 spaces, sort of like a better Awatome. Tekken Respawn is a pretty good A skill for mage tanks, and it's easy to activate. As for Defense and Res Link, this skill is great because since it grants +6 to both defensive stats. If you have an Odin with Odin's Grimoire, then Defense and Res Link can pair extremely well with the built-in attack and speed link on Odin's Grimoire. It's definitely a skill worth keeping if you don't want Sanaki. Last is a man who needs no enticing to get. Male Grima is a monster, being our only green armored dragon. He has a ridiculous base attack stat, and with his distant counter weapon, he can attack everyone. Vengeful Fighter is ridiculously overpowered, so if for some reason you don't want Grima, then it's an obvious skill to pass along. However, Male Grima is the only unit with War Dragons, so if you are a Dragon Emblem enthusiast and you want this skill, now is your chance. I know a lot of people want Grima in this group, but Lyn and Sanaki aren't that bad either. For our final group, the colorless team has 3 returning members. Female Grima continues her everlasting stay since we have no other colorless legendary heroes. If you wanted her and still haven't gotten her yet, then that is pretty unfortunate. She is a good unit, being the only colorless dragon, plus she is also a flying dragon. Her dragon skin A skill has built-in Iota Shield, and with her distant counter Expiration Breath, she can be a very hard threat to take down. Female Grima is also the only one with Red Smoke still, and I do think it's a good skill. Jenny is back again, and while she does have incredible attack for a healer, most healers with higher speeds can outperform her. However, Jenny has Wrathful Staff, and for those looking to run the Wrathful Staff plus Dazzling Staff setup, it can be tough to get one as a B skill. If anything, Jenny is worth getting just for Wrathful Staff. Last is Innis, who I'm pretty sure also was already on these banners. I recently made a whole video dedicated to talking about Innis's new Nidhogg Refine, so if you want to hear more about him, then watch that video. Innis's only decent skill is Fortress Res, but it's probably more rare than practical. It's not really a skill I would exclusively look to get. That being said, with his refined Nidhogg, Innis is one of the more interesting archers, and he can be a very useful unit. Colorless isn't exactly amazing this time, so I probably would avoid it if you don't need any specific unit or skill. That wraps up this Legendary Hero Summoning event. I really want to get Legendary Eirika myself, and the red group is so tempting to pull from even if I don't get her. Overall, this isn't the most amazing Legendary Hero banner ever, but it's decent for green and blue, and red is absolutely godlike this time around. Now, some things to consider is that both Halloween banners are still going on, and you can get some very powerful units from both of them, like Halloween Myrrh or Halloween Jacob. Brave Redux is also still continuing, and Loki, Owain, and Cliff each have some useful skills themselves. Choose where you spend your orbs wisely. Now in about a week, we are also having another new Heroes banner, and since I don't think Book 3 is starting just yet, this banner could literally be anything. If you're gonna summon, then good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.